song is called Morning Prayer, and it's written by Karen Drucker, David Roth, and Faith Rivera. And it is so awesome that Karen Drucker says it's one of her favorite songs, and she wrote a history of how it was composed, and I'd like to share that with you. It is so awesome. I will surrender to my highest, greatest good. What more do we need to say? Well, way back when, Karen was invited to come to have a radio broadcast with other creative people in New Thought. And she wrote just how it was created because she loves the creative process. Of course, she loves the creative process. She is so creative. She particularly likes writing songs, she said. And so one day she was invited to be part of a live radio broadcast with other New Thought artists. And they were sitting in the waiting room, the three of them, Karen Drucker, David Roth, and Faith Rivera. And all of a sudden, David Roth took out his computer and he opened it up and he wrote something on it. He wrote a line of something and a beautiful, simple melody. And then he swiveled that computer around and put it in front of Karen Drucker and he said, "Okay, now you take over. You write the next line." And she looked up like, "What? Okay, I always love a challenge." And so what she did is she wrote the next line, the next lyric, and the next part of the song. And she swiveled the computer around and put it in front of Faith Rivera. And she said, "And now, Faith, it's your turn." So Faith composed a beautiful line, including the word faith in it. And so they had a few minutes left before they all went on the radio. And so they then finished with the last line. And when they went on the radio, they actually sang the song that they had just composed. And so that seemed to be that is that. But when she went home, Karen couldn't get the song out of her mind. She just couldn't get it out. And so she emailed David Roth and began composing other lines. And she just couldn't let it go. And so they finished composing the entire song over email. It's just, she loves it. She starts every day with it. She sings it, and it sets the tone for her day, that she is actually starting the day surrendering. And it's one of her favorite songs to sing. I will surrender to my highest, greatest good. I will release any fear that comes my way. For any step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment of the day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I love to live the life that's real and pure and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, in this cool, that life is a mystery, and she's surrendering. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I'll release any fear that comes my way, or any step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment of the day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. But what I know is what I thought was safe and sound were only habit and regret that held me down. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I'll release any fear that blocks my way, for any step I take is taken in pure faith. And I'm kinder every moment of every day. And I'm more loving every moment, every day. And I surrender every moment, every day. This song is so awesome. It's not only beautiful and inspiring, it also tells us how to do it. It is very, very cool. And I love it. And that's why I'm telling you all about this. So I thought, this is so cool. I wonder what Ernest Holmes has to say about surrender into newness in the textbook, in the Science of Mind textbook. So I look up surrender, and this is what he says. When you have occasion to do a spiritual mind treatment, he says, that's our form of prayer. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. It could be a treatment or a treat, actually. Treat yourself. Call your name and proceed with the treatment as though you were treating for someone else. He goes on to say, disease will be healed provided you get to its cause and remove it by getting at this cause. We mean getting at the mental cause. He actually accents the mental cause, provided that you surrender to that mental cause. And you can't heal anyone because guess what? He says, you are the one that does the healing. Y-O-U. You are the one that thinks about yourself. And that's what he calls surrendering. And then he says, love alone can overcome fear because love is surrender. It surrenders itself to the object of its adoration. Then he talks about newness, also in the textbook. As our thought is opened and we behold the image of eternity within ourselves, the image of eternity within ourselves, we are changed by this image into the newness of life. This is accomplished by the Spirit of God. Yes, he says the soul must make a complete surrender of itself to the Spirit. And this is the law, and it must come under subjection to the Spirit. The will of Spirit, he goes on, is peace, clear thinking, the perfect coordination of all of this. That is the will of Spirit. And it is boldly interrelated. It has a perfect rhythm inside of it. First in my thought, then I recognize my body as God's body, as the thought recognizes it in my body. It becomes the thing. It starts with a thought and it becomes the thing. Remember, thoughts are things. Every little thought to us, it brings happiness and beauty. And he says, I no longer entertain or believe that there is or can be any life or any action apart from God. There can't be any life or any action apart from God. He goes on, God quickens every part of me into a newness of life and action. I am the power of God within me, making my physical self perfect. I am free. He ends that quotation with, I am free. So awesome. So today we're going to talk about different ways that we can surrender into the newness of life. The first way I want to tell yourself is to have some joy phone calls, joy calls. What is that, Rainbow? What's a joy call? Call anybody. Call somebody you love. Call somebody you don't know well. Call a relative. Call somebody. And when they answer the phone, say hi. Tell them your name and say, this is a joy call. And they would say, what in the world is a joy call? And you tell them, I am calling you to bring joy to your life. That's why I want to talk to you. So that's something you can do. You can do one of them, or you can do a couple of them. Make a joy call. Isn't that a cool thing to do? I love it. Surrendering into newness is such a beautiful thing. It's so wonderful. It carries a sense of releasing not only things that no longer serve us, but releasing familiar things as well, things we thought we knew so well, releasing everything, letting yourself be remade by what you have not yet met, new things open, not only at the top, at the bottom, open at the right side, the left side, open on the inside and the outside. You are choosing presence over prediction. Presence over prediction. You are choosing, when you are doing this, curiosity over control, this wonderful surrender. There comes a moment in every transition, in every life, and every deepening. There comes this loosening of the grip of the known as well, so we can open to something new. Sometimes it happens very gently. Sometimes it happens very strongly, like a door shutting, bang, and with the abruptness of that sound. Either way, we find ourselves standing on the threshold of something new, the newness, the raw, the unformed, the unclaimed, and it calls for something paradoxical. It calls for not effort, but surrender. Isn't that cool? In the end, newness is not something we enter into, really. It is something we let touch us. We allow it. And when we surrender to it, we discover that life has been waiting. How awesome is that? Life has been waiting patiently for us to open, to carry us somewhere where we could not have imagined we would ever go. We surrender from the shores of the familiar. How awesome. So today I want to share with you about surrendering. It was something that happened to me 2 days ago. I needed to renew my Sam's Club card. Have you ever needed to renew like a club card or something? So I called the number on the Sam's card, and the pharmacy answered. And when I told them I wanted to list a new credit card and I wanted to renew my card, they said, sorry, we can't do that here at the pharmacy, but we can connect you with the business office. Is that okay? And I go, yeah, that's perfectly okay. So they pressed the phone and they wanted to connect it to the business office. And I was on hold for 20 minutes. Have you ever been on hold while you were waiting for something? And their message played over and over and over for 20 minutes. They picked up the business phone and I said hi. I told them exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to list a new credit card and pay for the renewal. And they said, oh, we're so sorry. We don't do that here at the business office. We need to transfer you to a special renew accounts office. So they put me on hold again. And that took 16 more minutes. And they played their message over and over again. And so they picked up the phone. It was the special renew accounts office. And so I told them what I wanted, and they said, "Oh, no, we're not allowed to do that here." And they said they had to transfer me to a credit card office to be able to do that. And so they put me on, you guessed it, hold again. And something amazing happened to me. While I was on hold this time, I got a message from Spirit. And what the message told me, Rainbow, you need to decide to love all these people. You need to decide to love this process. You need to decide to approach life with love, even when you're on hold. And so then the phone answered. It was a 5-minute wait, and a wonderful man got online. He immediately entered my new credit card number, and he renewed my Sam's Club card. The message is love everyone and everything. So now we're giving a joy phone call, and we are saying a tender yes to everything. We are opening. And so what I want you to do, the third thing, after you love everyone and everything, I want you to say a tender yes to everything that happens as you love it. I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me. I'm open, I'm free, I'm open to all that is. It brings me to my knees. You are tender in your yes and your love. That's another way to surrender. And the last thing I want to share with you today is to take one small positive action, one tiny little, teeny little action today or many times a day, because then you'll activate the 10% rule. I don't know who came up with the 10% rule, but if you take one teeny little, tiny little action, you improve your life 10%. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. No, you just need to make a little single adjustment that lightens your load just a little, or just a moment, like you have a moment of honesty with yourself, or you go into your apps and get rid of what's no longer working, or you take it's something very, very little. Call somebody you love. Big transformations always start with something little, like a little deliberate change that's in our focus. And you ask yourself this question: what would make life 10% easier right now? Just easier, not perfect, not fixed, just easier. It could be as simple as preparing a meal, for example. That would be so great. Scheduling an appointment you've been putting off. Yes, that thing about getting rid of something that's been draining your time and energy. It doesn't have to be profound to make a difference. So our brains like to believe that relief only comes from big changes, but that's not always true. It's the small, sustainable actions, the ones you can actually maintain, that build tangible change over time. When things feel overwhelming or you feel paralyzed, you can invoke the 10% rule, and it gives you a way forward that's doable. How wonderful is that? So when you find out what would make your life 10% easier, do it. Do it. It won't take long at all. Pick one small thing and do it, and it will make a big, big difference. So now we have learned about surrendering to the newness of life. So in conclusion, I'm going to share some wonderful material with you. Don't you love the in conclusion part? And I would love you to join me with what I'm going to be sharing with you. You could close your eyes or leave your eyes open, and just as Jean said so beautifully, pay attention to your breath. I'm going to start now. Don't feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Guess who said that? You're right. It was Rumi. There is my body, in it an ocean formed of its glory, all the creation, all the universes, all the galaxies are lost in it. Guess who said that? Rumi. Do you know what you are? You are a manuscript of a divine letter. You are a mirror reflecting a noble faith. This universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you are already that. And guess who said this one? You're right, it was Rumi. And then I found something which was so awesome. I said to myself, I'm going to share it Sunday with everybody that's here. It's called Message from the Universe by Betania King. This is what she says. You are exactly where you need to be. The right people, opportunities, and breakthroughs are already aligning on your path. Trust the pauses, the delays, and even the detours, for they too are part of the greater plan unfolding in divine timing. Breathe, loosen your grip on worry. The doors you've been waiting for are opening, and what's meant for you will never pass you by. You've walked through so much, and now you're entering the final stretch of a powerful chapter. The universe is eager to reveal blessings you could only imagine, and the warrior in you has earned every surprise waiting on the other side. Let go of fear. Ground yourself in the now and trust the synchronicities guiding you. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to be ordinary. Your light was meant to shine, expand, and create. The universe has your back. And so it is. The universe has your back. And so it is. Won't you join me in treatment today? How wonderful it is to feel the presence of God, the omnipresence of God today. To actually feel the peace of God today. Because today we are surrendering into the newness of you. We're doing it by making joy calls, loving everyone. We're making one small positive action. We are peaceful. We are abundant. We are God, individualized as only we can be. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing to have life today and do all these blessings. I'm so grateful for all of this. I surrender these words into that fabulous universal law, which instantaneously manifests these words, even as I am speaking. And so it is. Amen, and amen.